Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, a CityBuilt Two-fer. First up is Melisandre, a 7.1% red IPA from CityBuilt Brewing Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I've been keeping my eye on CityBuilt for a few months now, trying them both at Burning Foot Beer Fest and the Detroit Fall Beer Fest just a few weeks back. So when I saw that they were starting to distribute, I was definitely on board. This is the first one I have for you today, and I believe their first release is Melisandre. I don't know if they have any other ones. And I will always think of Game of Thrones every time I say that name. And it's a red IPA, so it should be malty. So let's take a look at the can, and then we'll jump into the brew. Fun fact, if you took away all of Wayne Gretzky's goals, he'd still be the all-time points leader in the NHL. So here on the CityBuilt Melisandre can, it's a really simple design. I absolutely love it. It's just a red, the top is red, the bottom is black, or like a off, kind of a grayish color. It has the Grand Rapids skyline here. And on the front, it has the CityBuilt logo. It says Melisandre, a red IPA with Mackinac hops. The beer is red and full of hops, making the strange familiar and the familiar fresh and bold. It's a 16 fluid ounces and 7.1% alcohol by volume, as I mentioned earlier. And that's really it. Other than that, there's the government warning here and the citybuiltbrewing.com website, as well as the independent craft beer seal. So with all that, let's go ahead and just get it into a glass, right? There's not much else to say. So I'm going to get my IPA glass here. I am ready to crack this open. There is, oh, okay, so it is. There's a package date of 10/11/18, and it says where cultures collide on the bottom. So, like I said, I've had this for a few weeks. I was getting over some illness, so I didn't get a chance to try it right away when I wanted to. Ooh. It's got a nice kind of sweet malty scent right out of the can. It smells delicious. Let's go ahead and pour this. Oh, nice and red. Like a nice copper reddish color like I would expect from a red IPA. And going to pour it down the center here to get a little bit of that head action. Hey. And it's going to pour over the top here. Maybe. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I am absolutely horrible in pouring into this glass. I need to wait for it to get a little higher, I think. But so we get a good chance to look at the head here, right? So it's got a lot of really small compact bubbles. It's actually all compact, except if you look at it from the side, like a cross section here. And the top, there are a few larger ones. Let's take a look at it. It's, I wouldn't say it's hazy. Well, it's not super clear. Let's put it that way. It's not totally clear, but it's not hazy. It's got maybe a tiny bit of, unfiltered action going on here. It's got nice carbonation rising up from the top. Let's put a nose on it. Yeah, it has a piney kind of resinous hoppy scent to it, but it also has like a sweet malty scent to it as well. You guys know me, I love malty IPAs, so I can only venture that I will like this. I like most red IPAs. If I had to, subcategorize IPA or red IPA, I would prefer to go for red IPA just because they're usually more malty, or you're a little bit more sure on what you're going to get here. But it has a really good scent. Kind of has like a really sweet malty scent to it. I'm ready to try it. I'll fight the head off. Cheers. That is really good. It right up front, it has a really nice kind of sweet malty characteristic up front, which is kind of like a caramely kind of taste, a sweet caramel. And then immediately after the swallow, it kind of sits on your tongue and has that nice sweet quality to it. Immediately on the swallow, though, you start hitting those piney, resinous, kind of hoppy taste to it. Wow, that is really, really good. It's got, like I said, it's got that caramel maltiness to it as well. It's not really super malty. It is really malty, but I like to have a little bit more of a malty bite in there. I think that the sweet maltiness gets cut really quickly by that resinous, piney hoppiness. I would like to see maybe more malty characteristic, but that's just me. That's my, nitpick. But yeah, overall, that's just a really solid IPA, a really solid red IPA. Again, I really dig red IPAs, being a big kind of malty IPA fan like I am. And yeah. If you see this on the shelves and you like malty IPAs, or you're a big red IPA or an amber IPA kind of fan, I definitely think this is one you should pick up and not miss out on. It is really good, and I'm glad I picked it up when I did. So on to part 2 of the CityBuilt Two-fer review. Next up is Happyfriendsgiving, a 3.8% Berliner Weisse from CityBuilt Brewing Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, I missed trying this before Thanksgiving, but you know what? I mean, Friendsgiving has no timeline, right? Or at least I'm just going to say that because I'm not getting any invitations. So this review will be my Friendsgiving for you. So this follows that whole Thanksgiving theme by using cranberry and lactose, and I'm expecting it to be tart and sweet, kind of like the perfect Thanksgiving beer. So where's the turkey? Let's take a look at the label here, and then we'll get it into the glass. Fun fact, Wilford Brimley was Howard Hughes' bodyguard. So this is really similar to the Melisandre label. I think that I hope that CityBuilt's kind of going to go for this whole uniform can design. Has a CityBuilt Brewing Company logo, which I believe is a bridge, and also the star. It's a hashtag Happy Friendsgiving. It says Berliner Weisse, cranberry, lactose, tart, and sweet like your friends, making the strange familiar and the familiar fresh and bold. This is, again, 16 fluid ounces and 3.8%, very low ABV, and it has the citybuiltbrewing.com logo, website on the back. And this, like I said, I hope they kind of stick with the same kind of can labeling scheme, because I really think it stands out. You know, you can look, I like when you can look at a beer, you can look at a line of beer, and you can tell, you know, right when you look at it, oh, okay, that's, you know, X brewery's beer. Like, take, for example, Roke. They've redesigned everything. When you see that design, you know that that's their beer. And I think I'm going to grab my Melisandre can because, as you know, I just did a review for that. But that's really cool. It's very, they're identical, except for the colors have been switched or changed. This is a little darker red than this one, and this is white, and this is dark gray or almost black. But if they went with just kind of switching it up for each kind, let's say they do, I don't know, a stout, let's just say, and the top would be, let's just say it's dark brown, right? Or a kind of reddish brown, and the bottom could be yellow or whatever, you know, whatever kind of color, coffee colored, whatever they want to do. Maybe something more contrasty, but I think that would be really cool. So I'm ready to jump into this. I'm just going to have a pint glass for this because I don't really have any super awesome Berliner Weisse glasses I could use. And I'm going to crack this open and give it a smell here out of the can. Oof. It has kind of it's got a tart kind of scent coming out of it. Not like a super punchy in the face, sweet kind of, you know, sweet and tart, but just kind of tart altogether. So I'm ready to pour this. Wow. Really nice red color. Pouring right out of the can. It has a nice, I can see the carbonation kind of fades quickly. More of that kind of soury kind of scent comes out of here. And this was packaged on 11/12/18. It says Rob/Christian are the best. And I'm sure that's a Friendsgiving reference to their friends. So I'm going to put a better nose on it here. Ooh, man, you can kind of smell that tartness. A little bit of like a salty kind of quality coming through there. Berliner Weisse and Gozas, I always kind of get mixed up a little bit. I know Gozas are more salty. Berliner Weisse are a little bit more, they're still kind of mild sours, right? They're not super like open fermentation sours, but it kind of makes me think of Gozas a little bit with that kind of salty quality, but it does have a little bit of a sour, a little bit of a salty scent. So I'm ready to dive right in here. Cheers, guys. That's actually really good. So the first thing that kind of comes to mind, because it kind of changes a little bit because I swallowed it. At the very tail end, there's this kind of salty quality to it. But then once that saltiness kind of lets up a little bit, it gets a little bit sweeter again. But yeah, right up front, you get that kind of that sour, kind of really slightly sour taste, not overpoweringly sour, with the cranberry. And I think that lactose is what I'm tasting in the tail end, where it kind of sweetens up a little bit more. I didn't mention the color. I mean, it's pink, a reddish pink color, and I mean, there's no haze to this. It's very crystal clear. I got caught up. I was so excited to try it. But yeah, it's a really good taste, really smooth. Again, 3.8%, very light. A lot of carbonation, a lot of effervescence kind of hanging in there. So overall, yeah, it's got a really nice taste to it. It's not overpowering. Again, this would have been perfect with like your Thanksgiving dinner with your your canned cranberries, or if you're all hoity-toity, the fresh cranberry sauce that somebody made. But I could see this totally going over at a Thanksgiving party. Of course, we're past that, but maybe the holidays, the Christmas holiday coming up, or Hanukkah, whichever you celebrate. This might be a really good beer to kind of pair with that. And it's light enough. Uncle Joe can have a couple, and he's not going to knock the Christmas tree over or knock the menorah over. You can get that kind of taste out of it. You can enjoy a few pops and not really have to worry about it. As I kind of talk, that lactose kind of hangs in there, but then you get I get this like tartness to it, like cranberry. So I wasn't getting a whole lot of sour up front, more of like a salty kind of sour. And then as it kind of settles on your tongue, I'm picking up a little bit more on that cranberry sourness, that bitterness that cranberries have. I have to say, like I said, I've had CityBuilt stuff at the beer fests, or at a couple different beer fests. I'm really impressed by them so far with these 2 releases. Like I said, I kept my eyes open for them. I saw on Instagram when they said they were going to release them. I was really excited. I didn't expect for them to spread over to this side of the state so quickly, so I don't know who's distributing it. But yeah, I saw this all over when it first came out, and I'm sure it's going to come out a little bit, they're going to release a little bit more. If you can find this for Christmas, this is definitely a Christmas beer to introduce to somebody that maybe isn't a huge beer fan. All right, friends, that has been Melisandre and Happy Friendsgiving, both from CityBuilt Brewing in Grand Rapids. Have you had either of these beers, or have you visited CityBuilt's tap room? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And speaking of tap rooms, if you head into CityBuilt, let them know you saw their beer right here. While you're down there leaving all those really nice comments, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm here talking Michigan beer twice a week, and the best part about it is absolutely free to viewers just like you. You can also find links to my social media, some merch, a custom Tiku glass, links to all the gear that I use in these videos, and a link to my blog at drafttherapy.com. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.